So we're plowing on. Good. 2 more hours left of this physical conference. We're going to move into the last chat of food. Ute, thank you so much for your patience. We love you so much, so we wanted everyone to see your beautiful dress. It's absolutely fantastic.
Good.
Thank you for having it on, and thank you for your patience.
Good.
All right, and with that, further ado, we have 2 people online, and we have 2, well, plus me on physical presence here. Susanne, this time from Lavazza, would you kindly bring yourself to the stage? Susanne, Lavazza lady, hello. Where is she coming from? There. Where's the coffee?
Good.
No coffee?
At the bar.
No coffee, please.
Thank you. Hallo, Frau Klamert.
I haven't had my coffee today. It's
Come to the bar and
I
have
have
one.
to go. It's downstairs. And online we have Ezgi. Ezgi is Barcenas. I think on the video link. Do we have it?
Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm here. I'm not sure if you can see me.
Wait.
I'm not.
Okay, so you can hear us.
Yes, I can.
This is the wonderful life of 2020 here.
Yeah.
So have you had your coffee today?
No, yeah, I had coffee, but I'm not sure whether it was Lavazza. Yeah,
Are you not supposed to say that? You're not like Lavazza.
You're very much invited to one step down after the conversation, have a little espresso with us. More than welcome.
Ute, I heard you're working for some organization.
Yeah.
It's very large, works around the world. Why should we care about what you do?
Look, I ended up at the wrong panel, no? On this food innovation, and I was wondering, it sounded like a different world, the panelists talking about a different world. It sounds like that we are living in different planets, but it's not the case. We are living in, at one planet, and we have to find sustainable solutions for this one planet, celebrating change. I mean, as a UN organization, we are working in a completely different market in 83 countries where you don't want to go at the end of the day, where you usually don't go. So for the private sector, is this your market? So that's the question, how do we attract the private sector to be an integral part of the solution. But I have to tell you, we have to, in a way, extend that invitation because we can't, in a way, achieve our solutions for 690 people or maybe, again, 1 billion people suffering from hunger without the private sector. I have 2 messages. The one is, try to explore this market and try to understand the needs. And we have to formulate the needs, that's one. And I want to say to all the people present here, please stand up in a COVID-19 situation. We need you. And I'm not talking about charity. I'm talking about sustainable solutions, joint sustainable solutions. So we need companies, and maybe it sounds like an odd match, but that's not the case. I'm in charge for strategic partnerships. We are so grateful that we get this kind of curiosity also, saying, how can we help you? How can we assist you?
Do you really get that genuinely from companies?
We are getting that, and I can just say thank you so much. But celebrating change in COVID-19 times means even more. And to everyone, listening to us, please step up in COVID-19 times. We have to, in a way, deal with the situation because COVID-19 is not prompting so many health issues, as you can imagine in sub-Saharan Africa, for example. The main cause is now, or the main challenge is now, the economic situation with the kind of lockdown of countries.
But Ute, we are also experiencing an economic situation here. We are in severe situation. Look at Greece, look at Spain. I mean, we're around the corner, we're not in Africa. We have issues here. Why should we care about what's happening in sub-Saharan continent?
Because we are living on one planet and these are our neighbors, and we have the kind of, that's more than a moral obligation. We have to find, as a UN family, as a global family, we have to find a solution. And listening to these young innovative people just in my wrong panel, I thought, wonderful. We need this kind of spirit also for our problems, the problems we have to solve. And this is why I'm saying you can't ignore that, because otherwise, Otherwise, we will see a kind of development in the world where you have the kind of the Syria situation, the Libya situation, a Kenya situation, people in a kind of terrible situation in refugee camps, and I would guess we should not in a way allow exactly that situation really coming to a kind of emerging worse situation. And we have a global kind of contract. These are the Sustainable Development Goals, 2030. So this is the international kind of framing. So the question is, how to get there.
Well, I think Lavazza is trying to get there. There are 17 goals. You've made up your own. Goal 0, I believe it is.
Exactly.
Walk us a little bit through it, and please tell us why should we care about it as well.
Very happy. I think it's as a company or as a coffee growing company, we live from what is being produced in countries that are most vulnerable to impacts from climate change. So it's in our own interest to pursue today's sustainability goals. And as a company, we've always been committed to doing business or to an approach of doing business that is sustainable. So it goes without saying for us that we said when the 17 goals were framed as such, that we take part and pursue them as good as we can, step by step. And whilst we discussed internally what to do, how to do, we saw that it's not only important to pursue the goals, but also to what you said earlier, to create awareness of the importance and the relevance of pursuing those goals. And that was exactly when we came up with our own internal Goal 0, with the objective of spreading the awareness and of spreading the importance of walking and working towards the goals. And that is, in the end, we've shaped that Goal 0. We've been working towards our own internal Goal 0 ever since 2016. And we really managed to create a strong culture and a strong sense of responsibility towards the goals. Internally as a company, and we have a few thousand employees, and you need to land the message, but also externally towards suppliers, towards partners, and in the end towards consumers and customers.
But Susanne, don't you think there's a feeling amongst millennials like me that companies like you guys love to greenwash? You're going for the fashionable thing. Now SDGs are fashionable, so you guys made your own SDG. How are you going to how can we hold you accountable? How can you say as a Lavazza, we're really going to do it, we're just not going to talk marketing?
I would like to put a quote of our company founder, and that was the company was founded back in 1895.
Oh, wow.
And very early, Luigi Lavazza, our founder, said, "A world that is destroying the goods of nature is not a world I want to live in." And ever since, we've been working alongside this mantra. This is now for 4 generations of a family business. So yes, the topic of sustainability is, I would say, contemporary. But we're not picking it up because it is contemporary, because it was and is our way of doing business. And we want to use the strength and the power that we have as a company and as a brand to get that message across, to work towards it really step by step, improving our procedures, working in both angles, in the countries of origin and in the countries where we commercialize the products. But equally, it is important for us to make sure that we use the mandate and the power that we have as a company and as a brand to convey the message. And that message, I think there's one advantage you have as a marketing company, if you may say so. We can speak in different words. We don't need to be educational, but we can use the language of communication, of marketing, to convey that message in a way that is engaging, it captures people's attention, and then hopefully it sticks. And maybe I'll quote one example because I brought it here. And I'm very keen to show it. It's together with the administration of our hometown, Turin, that's where we are from. We could invite internationally renowned street artists to create murals in the city of Turin, representing each one of the sustainability goals. And that is one way, again, to capture people's attention, to make people speak about the relevance and the importance of working towards the goals. We have 10 years from now left if we want to reach them. And that is a way that captures people's attention. And I think that is one of the advantages we have as a company to use those assets. And in our perspective, it's the asset of art that we chose to speak through.
Yeah. Can I
Yeah, of course.
You know what is so super? I can use the same brochure and saying as a UN World Food Programme towards 2030. It's the same message, it's a decade of action for us and these 10 years to go. And what I like what you're saying is that the issue of sustainable starts within your company, but it has also an external effect in terms of awareness raising. It's a kind of different product and, different partners, I would say. I can say the same. And that's the beauty. And that makes us so optimistic. And thank you for your engagement. But I'm just saying that's not enough. In COVID-19 times, we see that kind of, this kind of different challenge. And all the successes we achieved, and that have been my figures, they are at risk. So we are really facing a situation where we're saying people are falling back into poverty. People are saying, oh no, environmental issues, we can't afford that because we have to invest in different issues and economies are suffering all over the world. So how to, in a way, rearrange the investment and also guide political decision making, but also the decision making here in the small, saying, how and where do I invest in a smart manner, but with a sustainable kind of overall objective towards 2030. Sorry that I'm disturbing you.
I want to bring Ezgi in. She's representing one of the world's biggest corporations, makes questionably probably a lot of good beer. In Germany we don't really want to talk about Budweiser, but you guys make Budweiser. Ezgi, you hear me well? Is connection is good?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. So
I do. Good morning, good afternoon.
You are a massive brewer. You guys make a lot of stuff. You consume a lot of products. You obviously have your own issues with waste as well. You have a new program called Smart Barley. I heard first about it in Davos from Tony McGilling, I believe. What is it and what did you improve in concrete and why are you doing it?
Yeah, so maybe if I can take a step back. So AB InBev is the leading brewer. We've got operations across 50 markets. And for us, sustainability is our business because we rely on the healthy environment and the thriving communities around the world to ensure that we're getting that quality crop. Most of what we kind of buy, make, and sell is done locally. So we're an incredibly local, global company. And, at ABI, we source directly from farmers across 13 countries around the world. And our public commitment, our 2025 goal, is to ensure that 100% of these farmers will be skilled, connected, and financially empowered. So we are really taking that farmer-centric approach. And I think that speaks back to kind of Ute's point about how do we ensure that these programs are sustainable. And the only way we're able to achieve these ambitions is because we're fortunate that we have agronomists on the ground that are working side by side with tens of thousands of these farmers. In the brewing industry, our priority crops are barley, rice, cassava, sorghum, hops, corn. And these crops are often grown in rotation as part of a broader food system. So, we need to pay attention to what the farmers need. We need to figure out what that farm level challenges are and the opportunities are. So Smart Barley is in fact not a new program. We launched it back in 2013. It's our internal platform to leverage field level data to better connect with the farmers, to ensure that they're connected to data, to each other, and that we're providing them with the right tools and resources to upskill them. So at the bottom of it, at the heart of it, what we're trying to do is to improve our service to them so that it can become our brand promise, so that they can improve their managerial and technological toolkits. They can improve their productivity, and they can also lower their footprint. So the data that we gather through Smart Barley, really helps us identify what those gaps are at a regional level, at a local level, so that we can better work with the farmers. But this is not enough, right? So it's not just that field level data that we look at. It's not just the farmer insights or that agronomist conversation that takes place on the ground year after year, during harvest or leading up to harvest.
Ezgi, I'm sorry, I don't buy it. I mean, AB InBev is so famous for making huge marketing plays. You guys have an incredibly large budgets, more than many countries in the world. Per person like me doesn't buy what you say. How do you convince me, how do you convince people that you are actually taking this seriously, that there is a future after you leave your job?
Yeah.
Because you are a corporation.
This is about. Yeah, I think it's a great question. Thank you for your brutal honesty. I appreciate it. This is about supply chain for us. This is about business continuity. It's about supply security for a company like us, right? So this is not philanthropy. It's not what used to be seen as core social responsibility. This is core sustainability linked to our business. And in fact, I can give you another proof point. About 3 years ago, we moved our sustainability function into our procurement operation, into our procurement organization, because we wanted to integrate it further into the business so that we can influence our supply chains, so that we can make it more a part of the decision making. And these initiatives can help us identify the long-term strategies so that we can be here for the next 100 plus years, right? So this is at the core of it. It is about corporate sustainability, but it's also about inclusive growth. And I think the benefit of that global scale enables us to share the learnings across geographies, across crops. And I think that's where Smart Barley comes into play. We're looking even at predictive data analytics. We're using NASA data to match genetic, environmental, managerial crop information so that, again, we can ensure that climate resilience for the farmers so that we can make sure that they can continue to innovate.
Susanne, Lavazza, AB InBev, it's okay to make money from sustainability. How are you doing it? How is Lavazza becoming also a money-making machine, but also a sustainable company at the same time?
I would like to pick one of the topics and say how do we combine both, because I said initially, pursuing sustainability goals, and especially when it comes to us climate, fighting or combating climate change is not only essential for the world, but essential for us because we commercialize coffee, and there is in a pack of coffee, there is coffee and nothing else. So we have a strong interest ourselves in pursuing and in creating a sustainable environment or helping a sustainable environment. And I would like to pick one, which is a project 20 years old by now, that is called Tierra, and that in the end represents our company's deep engagement in the countries of origin. And we don't do that through donations, as you said. No, we use help. In Germany, you would say Hilfe zur Selbsthilfe, help to help yourself. So we provide expertise, be it technological, be it ecological, be it education, in order that people in the coffee-growing countries can earn and can continue earning their living. And if they can continue earning their living, we have coffee to commercialize. So it is in our own interest, and we believe in the fact that we need to start somewhere, and a very strong focus of ours is in the countries of origin, where we can make a change. And through that, we are very, very convinced that we can continue doing business and commercializing the products.
Ute, here are two most consumed products, liquids in the world, alcohol and coffee, right in front of you. You're a United Nations lady. What do you think? Do they speak the truth? Can you hold them to their accountability?
I'm sure you speak the truth because, listening to the two of you, I mean, that's part of your new concept. And I would say they have no alternative, because the alternative is not investing in this kind of SDG agenda. You would lose out, positioning yourself at a new market. Look at these young people. They don't accept that kind of the way you would produce without being a kind of environmental friendly and sustainable solutions. That's your market. So I guess it's not an either or, it's a must. That's number one. And I'm just saying I'm very fond that we start these kinds of unusual partnerships, because we can help you also accelerating your brand. So it's this payback mechanism saying, yes, if you do that right, and that's far beyond this donation and charity approach, if you do that right, and if we partner in a smart manner, so it's a kind of win-win situation. And I'm just saying, you know, this kind of new way how to talk to each other, but also to understand the markets, your markets, our markets. That's celebrating change. That's the way to go.
Ezgi, before we leave, I would love to hear from you. One last point you want to get across. I'm leaving it without any criticism, so go for it. One point to go across.
I guess I want to just give a big shout out to our farmers around the world. You know, people tend to think that farmers don't innovate, but they are some of the most innovative, resourceful, resilient groups in the world. So the more we continue to work with them and make them part of the solution, the longer our programs and the more sustainable our initiatives can be. So a big shout out to our farmers.
Thank you for that. And Susanne, from Lavazza, last point you want to get across?
I think what I look forward to as of now, having a bit of time to stroll around, because I think we also need to be honest and aware that we're on a path. Yeah? And then you said, are we now changing our opinion? No, we don't, but we have started a pattern we will pursue, and I look forward to now to walking around, seeking out collaboration, seeking out partners that could help us along that path of becoming better than where we are at today. So looking forward to this.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, ladies. It's a pleasure to be on stage with you. Thank you so much for having this time with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.